welcome, Sovereign Souls. You are home. You are with me, and you are with another amazing guest this week on the Sovereign Soul podcast. I'm so freaking pumped. I've been thinking about our conversation, and then you made me wait for like a week or two before we could even see each other. I was like, what? But I am so excited. I've been really looking forward to our conversation. This is going to be a beautiful one for all my mamas out there, for all my really deep seated, sensitive, intuitive mamas out there. Like, come grab your journal, pull up a chair, because this is a conversation that has to be had. And you are, I think it's going to really bring up some stuff for women. And I'm really excited because this is a beautiful space for that to take place. But before we get into all of it, give us an introduction. Tell them how awesome you are.
Thanks for an amazing intro. So I'm Iysha. I am a soul midwife. And I support mums in guiding, I support mums to come back to their intuition, their power, and really finding that too muchness that so many of us have been told to like put in a bag and like lock away, and really bring that out and bring that into the journey of motherhood.
Yes. I mean, let's just reverse this for a minute. Did you hear what she said? She said she is a soul midwife. That is like my whole heart is just like, whoa, with everything and everywhere we could go with that. A soul like what soul right now in the world does not need a midwife to help them through this crazy fiasco of just like, I want to say awesomeness, but that's really a sarcastic phrase. Like, this isn't awesome sometimes, right? And then, oh my gosh, this is going to be so good. Like, I'm getting grounded in my chair right here. Tell me more about you. Tell me more about you. I know that where are you in the world? How many babies do you have? Like, why here? Why now? Like, talk to me about it all.
Yeah, so I'm in France, and I have two beautiful daughters, one's 6 and one's 3. And when I had my first daughter, my pregnancy, like the how I got pregnant, it was kind of very unplanned, very quick. Everything felt a bit like a hot mess. And then when she was born, everything was a hot mess. I was like in a deep, 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 dark tunnel that I could not see the way out of. And I would have loved to have a soul midwife. You know, midwife to me means a continuity of care that doesn't just start or end with birth and people having babies, but that is, you know, womb to tomb, the whole continuum of life.
First of all, I went back to the gym after 6 months and I really overdid it on the whole, the ab thing. So I am sore. When so, I am in pain literally as I laugh, but holy cow, from womb to tomb, like,
Yeah.
you are freaking fantastic. This is so good. I have chills. My whole body. I'm like, everybody needs to just like lay off me for a minute, back up, give me some space because this is going to be so good. Holy cow. Go deeper into that. Go deeper into that and why your heart knows that right now is what's most important for women.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've lost the kind of, for most women, we've lost the connection to community, the village, which so many people speak about. But what it really takes to be in a village, you know, it takes showing up when you really don't want to. It takes so much more than just like receiving from the village. And I think we're at a time where motherhood is the key, in my own belief, to saving and changing the whole structure of the system and the world. If we look at
Yeah.
mums as the foundation, then we have to understand and see that if we support our mums and if they feel well loved, well cared for, the whole world benefits from that. The ripples of that go like way, way, way beyond we can even comprehend.
100%. And I know that this right here, like I'm spirits coming in because Jackie can go in a million different directions with this conversation. You know what I mean? Because you are so right. There is a basis, a core here where, women, we haven't been allowed to truly embody or embrace ourselves. We have not been given permission to explore what it truly means to be a desirable being, to be a passionate being, to be a very, 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 from the tips of our toes to the hairs on our heads, a very sensual feeling being. That is how we communicate with the external world, is by really evaluating it from an internal perspective. And so, because there has been such a patriarchal, if you will, structure to things, we've really we've masked it, we've stuffed it, we've had it taken away. We've tried to contort ourselves into spaces, places, boxes, in a certain way of life because we thought that that's what was going to get us to what we needed ultimately, which was safety and security. And one of the things that you said before we started recording, which is like why I'm like, okay, 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 hang on, was that we cannot think our way through healing. And this right here is where this is right here, right now, what you're speaking about, and what I really wanted to have a further deeper conversation around is that we cannot just think that we're through something and that it's healed. We really have, as women, the way that we heal is to feel our way through it, right?
Oh my gosh, like totally. And for me, my background is as a massage therapist and a yoga teacher. That's kind of where things began. So, like, I learned a lot from being with my body and being with the bodies of other people. And at this point, I'm like in my early 20s, I think I've had got it all figured out. Um, because, I'm 20.
I was part of that club too, by the way. I don't think we ever crossed paths, but I was part of that club too.
But still to be a student of the body, and the importance of us as women as using the body as the vessel towards healing and all that it holds, the body and the mind, are not individual separate things. So we can't think our way through healing. We have to feel our way through it, as you say, and it's not easy.
Right, right. It's not. And often it can feel very impossible when there's trauma involved, especially from childhood, or anywhere. I say childhood and inner child. For me, when I do work with clients around it, it is literally your yesterday. Like anything that may have taken place yesterday and before, like any past version of you as an inner child, right? It's just a different stage level or age that it presents itself, right? Um, Talk to me about client work and what it is that you are witnessing now within your business and within the containers that you hold for women as they step up and they step into them. Like, what are some of the common things that you are finding women are coming to you for?
Yeah, so I think a lot of women are struggling with holding like the amount that they have to hold. I think that's just a really common theme, and I'm pretty sure most women can relate to it. It's like, how am I supposed to like be this perfect human and have my own life? And I think that along with that comes with the notion of, how do I keep the parts of me that feel necessary? How am I able to be wild and sensual and also show up as mom? Like, how do I do that? How do I change the nappies and then like turn it on when I'm alone with my partner at night? It can feel really difficult to hold those extremes or differences.
Abs- Absolutely. And in my world, what's been coming up a lot is, you know, single moms that
Mm,
are, and again, this is my world, very deliberate with the clients that I bring forward, but these are women that are primarily single, divorced. They are running businesses, they are tending to children, and we take it on and we carry it. Men can sometimes compartmentalize things. We don't know what that means. We don't know how to do that thing. It's not something that we are tuned into it all the time, right? And so it's very difficult for women to be all into business without being sidetracked over here with life. You know what I mean? Or being with their children and not thinking about this business opportunity that could be potentially growing itself, right? And so really helping women recognize that you don't have to be one or the other, that you get to be it all, because that's what works best for us. But at the same time, to your point, how do I balance that? And as a single parent, as a business owner, as a multiple seven-figure business owner with a million things going on at any given time, balance to me no longer looks even. Balance is sometimes it's more about my kids, sometimes it's more about my business. Sometimes I'm having to do just the me thing. And the more as women that we lose ourselves, the more that these other areas start to scream in different various ways where it's calling attention, not for us to move towards them, but for us to move back towards ourselves. Because when our cup fills, all these other areas, they begin to stabilize, they begin to feel nurtured, they begin to feel fed, and they begin to work, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes for all my friends that are listening, quote unquote work. Oh gosh, this is so good. So tell me about what it looks like when it comes to moms moving through some deep-seated wound and witnessing or maybe having it come as a trigger of awareness as they are taking relationships with their children to another level, right? Like I feel like when I look back at my relationship with my kids, it was always super duper easy. Like, you know, the role you play until the age of maybe 10 when they start really getting their attitudes and their likes and their dislikes. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of it's just very nurturing and you feel very bonded until they become the version of them that they're ready to step into that we have to nurture. But holy shit, I don't know how to nurture that because I've got my own trauma that I never looked at, didn't know I needed to look at, had no idea I had to actually heal and not think myself through. Talk to me about the women that come forward for you and like how you support them with soothing them with this awareness and then supporting them with moving through it.
Yeah, I think I have this kind of rule that like our children are our biggest teachers. They're literally like the spiritual gurus of our lives. And I think sometimes keeping that in mind, even when they're really triggering the hell out of our own childhood stuff, is really important. That's like the first thing, you know? And I think children become experts at pushing our buttons, the buttons that they need us to get to. The things that we're not consciously aware of or that we're avoiding, I think they have this, and I find it really, really helps women if I kind of give them this this notion that their children are actually trying to help them heal. They're not triggering them because like they're just a pain in the ass. They're doing this to walk them through what needs to be healed in order so that they don't have to carry it. So you heal this for them.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now, there is a disclaimer, okay? And for those of you that are on YouTube, you're never going to see this disclaimer. For those of you listening on all the other podcast platforms, I'm just going to tell it to you, okay? Because I don't need you to go find it. Here's the disclaimer. By no means do we mean that your child being very blatantly disrespectful is acceptable and that's just something you got to figure out how to work on. No, what she's talking about is that feeling of not enoughness or that feeling of abandonment or that feeling of disconnection that is triggered within you as you attempt to connect with your child, connect with them when they are coming home from school and they've been bullied, or coming home from school and they're struggling with their grades, or coming home from school and they're having an issue with a girlfriend or a boyfriend situation, fitting in, things of this nature. This is what we're speaking on. Sometimes what triggers us about these scenarios really isn't about what's going on for them. Yes, our heart bleeds for them and we want to support them and we are very capable of doing it. But the bigger thing is that deep-seated, I remember this wound and what it is we need to do about it.
Yeah, and sometimes that we don't even remember it, you know, that we're just activated and we're not sure why or what it is, but we just know that like, and it's usually in those moments, for me personally, I know in those moments, I'm like, I just lose it. I cannot always, you know, I'm not perfect. I cannot always bring myself there. I'm like, and explode, and then I'm like, oh no, now I've got to go repair that situation, you know, that can
And
be the medicine.
it is, but here's a big thing that you just said, and I want women to recognize that you're giving them permission in this statement. You go back and you repair.
Mm.
You go back and you take accountability and ownership.
for
I
sure.
know I'm seeing hands in my mind's eye, by the way. I don't need anybody to raise them, but I know that you are in my audience raising your hand, saying, yes, I did not have a parent that took ownership for losing their shit and it not really having anything to do with me. It was a bad day. It was something I triggered a memory around, or just something that they know is off within them. And they don't want to face it, so they're shushing me. Like, you're shushing me because you can't handle you. Like, what? It makes no sense. Like, I know that there are a lot of people. We are in a beautiful space of awareness where there are so many women stepping up to be the curse breakers, the generation healers, so that their children don't have to carry on some of the lineage that we became aware of, right? And so part of that is going back and sitting down and admitting sometimes to your child, I don't know how I'm feeling right now. I need a minute. With my daughter's 25, and she was my test baby. That's what I refer to her as. And this test baby was one that, oh my God, I grew up with her and she grew up with me. And it was just like this, relationship where, yes, I was her mother when she needed me to be her mother. But one of the things that I really honored was the fact that most of the time, she's such an evolved soul. She didn't need a mom, she needed a friend. She needed somebody that would just honor where she was taking life. Even, to some of the like, I don't know about that dude, or that friend is really, really not gonna have your best interest at heart. But she had to learn those things. For me and her, one of the greatest things that I ever instilled was, if you're gonna tell me something that you know is gonna be one of those issues, bring it to me and say, Mom, I have to talk to you about something. And give it a breath so that I can catch on that this is probably something you are aware is going to upset me and you are wanting me to be fully present. Don't just spring shit on people. You know what I mean? Because in order for you to get the attention, like, don't spring it on me. And I would go through all the scenarios. Girl, like, listen, she said to me, I've got to tell you something. And I was like, oh my God. I think she was 18, 19. Oh my God. Is she pregnant? My guys were like, no. Did she wreck the car? The guys were like, no. And I'm like, is everything safe? And everybody's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yes, please. Because I'm just like, oh my God. The statement that just instills shivers. Like, okay, I'm ready. Holding on, you know what I mean? But I've appreciated that about the relationship I have with my kids. And I'm doing this with my boys as well. If you've got something really heavy, really big in your energy and in your emotions to talk about, Mom, I really need to talk to you about something, and let that land, because then I can be what it is that you need me to be. Again, moving out work or moving out, client stuff or my stuff or whatever it is, so I can show up for you in the best version of me that I can.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and knowing that in every stage, I'm not at that stage yet. My kids are 3 and 6, and, that demands a very particular kind of style of being and mothering. And I think as we progress through mothering, it's not static. We're constantly asked to shift and to evolve and to change. And it can be really difficult because, like, parts of us are like, yo, I want to be like who I was 10 years ago because, like, she was cool, she was having a great time. But, I think this is the thing with our identity. It's always got to shift into line with what our children are actually like needing from us. And I think it's sometimes missed that I can have the life I had
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
not be aware and consciously really supporting my children at where they're at and what they need. Like, I have to put myself in, and sometimes some of my feels to one side to be able to be there for my children.
Yes. And equally, there are going to be moments where you have to, in order for us to not feel like we've lost ourselves. I'm using air quotes again because that's never going to be a thing. You can't technically lose anything. You are energy. You are always there, present, connected, always, always. But life can sometimes become louder than the intuition. And so it is really, really important when we feel like we have, quote unquote, lost ourselves, to really show up for ourselves, asking for support from soul midwives like you to say, hey, something about me, my body, my energy, my emotions, my connection is really feeling disconnected. How can I bring myself back? How can I find that again? Where do I go again to find that? Because, yes, you are always evolving. You're never going to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. And through that means that you're going to have to uncover this new you. But this new you should still have all those parts that you, like you said 10 years ago, thought was just like the most amazing parts of you. Like those things come with you, into your 80s, ladies. Like, come on, still be the rebel in the one that's wild, right? Like, you have to bring her with you.
Yeah, she just looks different. I always say like a mother has like so many iterations. And I think in society, we look out into society and into the world and we don't really see mother anywhere reflected to us. It's not really something that even like archetypally and, in film, like the mother's always missing. Disney films, for example, she's never there. It's always the wicked stepmom. Mom's like dead. She's been killed off.
Wow, dude, I have to hang on right now. Like, here it comes again, this wave of like, whoa. You literally, literally, literally just blew my mind. Like, you are absolutely spot on. And like, there's gonna be some massive feedback from this episode. Let me tell my God. I want to cry because you just hit it right on the head. You're so right. And then it's like, oh my God, well, then how do women actually know what that looks like? Never mind. How do women know what it feels like then if it's never portrayed and hasn't been given permission to be portrayed? Like, whoa, walk me through. What do I do now?
Yeah, I mean, this is like the first step in me working with women is like I've like designed this framework, and the first step is meeting the mother. Like we
Mm,
go into how we meet the mother, and that's speaking about the mother as us as an individual, the mother as the internal mother, our own mothers in the physical world. What does the archetypal mother look like? What's the divine mother? What are all these iterations and faces of mother that we're like, yo, what is that? Like, where is
yeah,
that? Well, we're going to meet
yeah.
her. And that's the first step for me in working with women. We have to meet her.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, I love this. I love this. This is so good. Yes, because what do you see shift, change, and move within those spaces when we do meet?
I think there's a deeper connection to self is like by first and foremost the biggest shift, and I say self meaning soul, heart, womb, all of that, that shift straight away. And it's like, oh my God, I've met this like amazing being, whatever that is.
It's a state of being.
A state
I've
of,
entered into that state of being. Women can we because we've been conditioned to look externally for security, validation, confirmation, love, like to look everywhere other than inside of us is what's, again, here we go quoting, normal, right? And so when we find this, the intuition begins to go, oh my gosh, I've been here this whole time waiting for you to listen to me. I'm ready to be loud. I'm ready to be present. I'm ready to show you, like, I have all these answers for you. In my world, women come because they are also really nurturing that to become the best healers that they can be for themselves and to hold space for their clients and the communities that they are in. And our psychic gifts, man, they just come online. It's a freebie.
yeah.
I always call it a freebie. It's a freebie. Like, we are all psychic. We all read energy, especially ladies. We read the energy in the room. It is instantaneous, right? And so your ability to be psychic is just innate. It's been something that we've been asked to shun. And even in religion, it's not a good thing. But what do you mean? It's a gift. It is what we are all capable of tuning in and tapping into, right? And it is such a supportive thing because it helps us navigate our world and the world around us as well, right? And so these are things that are not just activated but brought back online to such a more fuller degree when we go and we meet that part of us, that aspect of us, not external, internal, that help us nurture ourselves back to life.
Exactly. That's so beautiful. Like nurturing ourselves back to life, I always look at it like birth, and the process of birth is literally like us birthing ourselves. Like our babies come, but also like we are reborn. And every time we have a baby, like we are being reborn each and every time. And I think the process of that can feel quite jarring because like who out in the world is like there saying it's okay, I've got you. There's not very many people because as you say, we've been conditioned to be like, oh, no, no, the intuition, no, don't listen to that, listen to the doctor. Which, yeah, for sure, sometimes you need to. But
Yeah.
we've been, for centuries as women, like told to shut up or, you're going to be burnt at the stake.
Basically. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like there can be a greater expression of being in a state of love where you are held through this process because we're not just birthing life. We are transitioning into a new way of it. And it doesn't come with a rule book. It doesn't come with a handbook because it wasn't meant to. It was supposed to come with other women. It was supposed to come through the medicine woman that was meant to present themselves to us, and that in, like you say, way, way, way back in the day, did present ourselves themselves, and they held that space for us until we were ready. Okay, I know that there are people like, I've got my pen and paper. I'm ready to take her phone number. 1-800. I'm just kidding. Like, talk to us. Where do we come and find you? Where do we get to hang out with you? How do we get to know you better? What are you offering right now that absolutely everyone hearing us needs to take up and take advantage of?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, and my like tag is Anima Maya, which I think will be you can share maybe with
I
everyone.
will
But yeah,
absolutely. It's in the
okay.
show notes for sure, for sure.
Or on my website or on Facebook, you'll find me as Iysha Barrett Morichon. And right now, I have got a couple of offerings, and one of them is just one-off, one-to-one sessions where I'm going to help people or support mums to meet the mother. That is kind of like the goal of those sessions. We're going to meet and maybe not the whole of the mother because she's pretty big, but we're going to see what is alive in meeting the mother for mums. So, yeah, I'm offering those sessions at the moment, and also from January, a 13-week one-to-one program where we're going to work through the whole of my mother framework, which includes as the first step meeting the mother. We get into body work, we get into many different facets and necessities for actual real soul deep healing. We're not talking about it, we are doing the thing.
Absolutely. And you know what? You're going to have, I can tell you right now, this soul is an incredible soul. And when I connected with your energy, I was just like, oh, wow. You're like these, and you're in Paris. I'm in New York. I know it sounds really bougie, but like, it just was a warm hug from over the pond. Like, you are such a very safe space for women to come to just nestle up against and receive. Receive for themselves the codes that you give, the activation of remembrance that they already hold within their body. You bring it online. And so, working with you to any capacity is going to be so fruitful. We are meant to be creators, creatrix. We are meant to birth and I mean fully, full on birth, the manifestations of our hearts. But if we can't tap into those spaces, we get so disappointed and discouraged because those things aren't coming to fruition. And these two powerful offers that she's giving you folks, oh my gosh, they're going to get you there. And they're most certainly going to get you back into communication with the self and the soul. And I just encourage everybody to go find you. You can reach out to me and I will put you in touch with this girl. But go to the show notes, grab all her contact details, go follow her, go get in her world, let her know that you heard her on the Sovereign Soul podcast. And wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's YouTube or podcast platform, make sure you like and follow. Make sure you give us some feedback on this episode, what you took away, what you might have questions about, because we will absolutely always follow up with our guests and make sure that they know that you've been communicating with us about them. But until next time, my friends, oh my gosh, Aisha, thank you so much for blessing us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're like a big warm hug and a kiss from all the way in Paris. I'm just so, so grateful for you. Thank you for popping on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's literally a blessing. And yeah, meeting you was like not random, but like, yeah, it equally felt like a big warm hug. So thank you.
So much more coming, friends. Wink, wink, wink. Hint, hint, hint. All right, friends. Thanks again for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be seeing you next week with another amazing Sovereign Soul episode. But until then, loving you. See you soon.